podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
PCA.
ATIP454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. WandaVision episode 6, and this is the Halloween episode. First off, Wanda's headgear, perfect. Absolute perfection.
Oh, that costume just
she should use it all the time.
I feel
I
like
love the look.
It looks so cool. I never thought that would actually look cool.
The headgear.
The headgear. Everything, even if she didn't wear everything else with it, just the headgear.
You just update that, because instead of it just being like a little like leotard or whatever, I just love that headpiece so much. It looks so cool.
And also, I have to admit, it makes her look so much cool, like Magneto.
I love
it's
the Magneto.
so freaking cool.
The classic helmet with the beetle.
Well, with Magneto's other daughter, she wore it in the Gifted. Polaris. She wore it on the Gifted. She had the green circle. It looked cool.
It looked cool.
See, there's the Polaris is kind of like a clone.
Yeah.
And it's also technically a real daughter, but I love the way that looks. Everyone else's costume looks super crappy.
Vision's was the worst.
His little basketball shorts. I think it's so funny that she wanted her costume to look like kind of legit, like cosplay legit. Everyone else is like garbage.
Yeah.
But everything, again, I sound like a broken record. Everything in the bubble.
It's fascinating.
Awesome.
Mwah, fantastic. Everything outside of it.
It's like two different shows.
And also stuff that doesn't even make sense.
So here's the thing. We see the things that Wanda's doing. We see the suffering. She's the bad guy. But they're trying to make this director guy even worse.
Yeah.
But what do you want him to think? These people are being mentally tortured 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're supposed to be like, oh, she just feels bad.
And then the thing is, things are breaking down more. Because it's so much. It's got to be taxing on her.
Well, and also
all this ability,
and that's what he's
too much.
That's what he's worried about, because he's like, what if it becomes too much for her? And now we're all stuck in this world, and she can't even help us now because it's going too strong.
Yeah. But at the same time, this is getting so big. Why haven't they tried to contact the rest of the Avengers? Doctor Strange, even like Bruce Banner. Why aren't these? Because this is getting pretty big.
Yeah. Or even at this point, get freaking Ghost Rider. I don't know, someone that could go through this and not get affected.
Yeah, you need something.
By the way, my personal opinion, if Ghost Rider did go through, he'd be the preacher. Just saying.
That was like, he'd be a priest. How cool would that be?
That would be so awesome.
And then it'd be Robbie Reyes. He's all in there.
Yeah, the preacher. That'd be so sick.
I do want to see that now. Like 100% want to see that.
Yeah, you do.
But we'll just jump right up into the episode. For the first time since like the beginning, it starts with like the opener. It's Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, carrying on the camcorder.
They're walking around. The mom's like, "Hey, you get out of here!" Kids are running around. I didn't listen to the lyrics of what they were singing, but it's very Malcolm in the Middle, and it's funny. So we do get to see Quicksilver running around and doing like a super speed.
Fast.
And then, there's the neighbor. Oh, she's in the thing.
And she's like naughty on her butt. Like,
yeah,
again, that's
so
her role. Yeah.
And so it's Halloween, and then her kids are dressed up in Wiccan. That's the Tommy and Billy. I forget which one's which, but he's kind of dressed up kind of in his costume because he does look like this in the comic.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna be the more magic one, and then the other son's gonna be more like we'll see in the episode. But it's like Malcolm in the Middle. Oh man, okay, it's Halloween time. He's talking to the camera. Just like in like how Malcolm would start every episode speaking to the audience.
Exactly. Oh, and also eerie, like Malcolm in the Middle mixed with Drake and Josh.
Yeah,
Drake and Josh would do that too, where they would be like talking to each. Like,
and also, he's talking to the camera. The other people are like, well,
like there's a scene where he's talking to the camera, and Quicksilver's just sitting in the background, like, okay, let's get through this stupid crap. Like,
yeah, he's like, what?
More and more people are starting to figure out, okay, this is a play, this is a thing for you.
Well, and also the main characters, her kids, her husband, and her brother, she can't really control what they do. They almost do their own thing.
Yeah. Like,
it's kind of eerie. Because, like, we'll watch it more in the episode, but I don't know, it's going to be crazy.
So, the sons are like, they're talking about, it's going to be Halloween, where's your costume? Oh, I'm a cool twin. What does that make me?
Yeah.
So, they're trying to keep that aspect of, like, the show.
Yeah.
And they're like, then the other little scene where they're both playing like DDR, but again, that's so Malcolm in the Middle, it's unbelievable.
Like a quick little scene cuts and they go, like in the beginning, this is like you said, it's sitcom from the 90s, but then it quickly just goes away.
Yeah, it starts to, it goes off the rails.
Yeah, big time.
And, they're having breakfast or whatever. It's funny, they're eating like breakfast, but it's like 4 in the afternoon. And they're like, all he does is sit around and do this, which is, it's funny, this Quicksilver is the one from the Fox universe, because remember how you would just lay around and not do it because he's always using so much energy. why don't you go wake him up? Well, I bet you're scared. Well, I'm not scared. Oh, you probably think he's a vampire because all he does is sleep all day. Then he wakes up and he's like, oh, tries to scare me. He's all running around and doing all the little speed stuff. And of course, he's the fun uncle. Wow. Oh, let's hang out with Uncle Pietro. He's so much cool and he does all the cool things and he lets us eat junk food. He's that character that's introduced into a sitcom 3 or 4 seasons in to shake things up.
And also, it's funny too. They needed a babysitter that Vision could trust, which he's a family member, so he would generally trust him. Yeah.
Then that's when we get, she comes down in her costume, and it's super cool. I love it. For cosplay, it's like a 10 out of 10. Like if someone went to Phoenix Comic Con like this, like a cool costume.
Yeah, nice.
It's very cool. And I like how they're like, who are you supposed to be at that? They don't say Scarlet Witch.
No.
Remember, I forgot to mention this. Remember in the last episode? Well, she should have a stupid nickname. Scarlet Witch is not a stupid nickname.
No, I thought it's cool.
Well, and also, I know he's making a dig at the Avengers because they all had like nicknames like Black Widow, Hawkeye, but I don't know.
She's like, they're like, who are you supposed to be? I thought she was gonna say Scarlet Witch. Oh, I'm a Sokovian fortune teller.
And then she goes, you look like a vampire or something. That's one of her kids. It's something like that.
You know what's really funny about that? That sounds like the generic costume name they would put on her.
Yeah, costume. Like you don't have the official Marvel license. So you get the, like,
so that's an inside joke.
Yeah, that's like picking like
this is the Party City knockoff thing. Yeah. Then they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then then she's talking to her brother. She's like, oh, it's better than those things Mom and Dad used to dress us in for Halloween. And then it has another flashback scene where like they're getting like a fish.
When you heard gunshots in the background, like, what's going on? Yeah,
because they lived in a kind of like a Warsaw like horrible place. They get fishes. This is for you to share. And then she's like, well, maybe I remembered it differently. They had, because the Scarlet Witch, Wanda, and Pietro from the Fox universe is completely different than this one.
Yeah.
Because he lived like in suburbia America.
Yeah, he did.
And remember, he was his little sister, and then he would run her. It was different. Mm-hmm. So they have different memories.
Yeah, there's no I'm about to say devoid or divulge of 2 different timelines. They're not.
Yes.
But he also has his other memories because he talks about being killed.
Yes.
He talks about that. So it's weird. He's like a mishmash of the Fox and the MCU mixed together.
Yeah. And maybe they might use that as an excuse why maybe he'll live. You know, like if he gets out of this.
I think it's from that timeline too.
But we don't know. But it is kind of funny that she even is getting kind of worried herself.
She's like, well, I don't remember it that way because her memories are way worse than his memories would be because they're completely different.
Maybe it's a mixture of both their memories.
Yeah, I think they probably got mishmashed together.
Because why would you be trick or treating in that situation? There's no way.
Yeah, you just stay home.
You stay home.
And then they're kind of like oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Then the kids start talking, with Uncle and everything, and with Mom. It's just, and it's funny because they're talking to the camera, and it's like that. It's like really close to his face. Like it's like he has to sneak it in. Like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what's going
on. Yeah.
But it's weird to see Pietro just kind of don't worry about it, sis. It's okay. We don't have to remember things the way they're supposed. It's just like he's rolling with the punches.
It's weird.
Then Vision comes out in his costume.
And his costume's like a 7.
But it's a traditional Vision costume.
It's remember when Vision used to be all white?
Yeah.
That was awful. I like the green and yellow so much better. Then they're like, oh wow, you look great. And he's like, oh, are you supposed to be a half-peeled banana? Because he kind of does the yellow cape. Oh, he's supposed to be a rotten hot dog or something. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I am. And this is super. Vision is he's getting tired.
Yes.
We're almost at the point of like the kids are thinking like, is Mom and Dad gonna get a divorce? Like this is getting like very tense.
Yeah, they don't realize it because they haven't realized yet that this is a simulation. They don't know.
She's like, oh, you look great. He's like, well, it was the only thing in my closet.
And
I was like, oh,
and it was
legit
condescending, legit, like angry, like.
And she's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, oh, it looks lovely, honey. And he just kind of goes with the smile, but he's like, I don't want to do this stupid make-believe crap with you anymore.
Yes.
Oh my God. The way he delivered that line was like, you effing B-word, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. I had to wear this because literally you took all my clothes.
And that was the only thing that was in there.
Like again, like a crazy person you're putting on a play and you have to do it.
Oh, here's your costume for today.
Yeah, on a play when they're putting you at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you better do this.
You're performing and there's a guy with a gun off stage. He's like, keep singing and dancing.
Yeah.
He's like, but then he puts on that fake smile and he's like, oh, and then of course, he's like, oh, it's such a nice costume. This is going to be so much fun. And the kids see him and they're like, oh, it's a great costume, Dad. But then we get where they're not agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
They're having like these different spats because he's like, well, I need to do the neighborhood watch because there's kids throwing toilet paper and things, and I gotta be out there stopping them. She's like, that wasn't what you're supposed to do. He's like, well, there's no one else on the neighborhood watch. I have to do it. See, she had a different role for him planned. And she's like, this is our first Halloween. You need to spend it with your sons. And this is like, they're going to like, this is going to be a domestic violence situation.
Well, and the kid even says like, hey, mom and dad aren't really getting
Yeah, that's to do another talk to the camera moment. And this time you see Pedro and he looks at the camera too.
He's like, what?
He's like, who the hell are you talking to? Kid?
Yeah, almost like, what? Like,
there's the layer of creepiness, like Twilight Zone, Truman Show creepiness that just makes you.
I mean, almost like if it went just a little this way, it'd be Black Mirror creepy. Yeah, that's what we're getting at.
Like you said earlier, she is the kid in the cornfield.
Yeah. That's a good thing, Wanda. You did a very good thing. When you yeeted Monica out of the thing, that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's what even Vision's playing along only to a point now because he's done with it. He's done.
Yeah.
And then they kind of start having a little bit of an argument about like him going on the patrol thing, and then Quicksilver was like, "Hey, it's okay, sis. You want the kids to hang out with the father figure? You got Uncle Peter here. I'll take care of the kids.
I got the X and Y chromosome.
Yeah, I can be a dad to them, and Vision here can go hang out and go catch those baddies or whatever." Like he's trying to keep the story flowing.
Yeah, in a weird way. But it's weird. He is, and then he does things where you're like, what?
It's interesting.
Are you trying to break it or?
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to do it a different way.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to break her out of it by being a little more gentle about it.
And genuine. Trying to be more like, trying to get on her emotions and maybe like, hey, we need to end this.
Yeah.
So then, Vision's like, I have to do my duty to be the, I got to catch the bad guy. So he runs out. So he's going to be doing neighborhood watch. And then it's going to be Wanda, her brother, and the kids going trick-or-treating. Yeah. Now they go trick-or-treating like in the middle of the freaking day. What a bunch of losers.
I know.
You go to trick-or-treating around 6 o'clock.
Oh, and then
he like zooms up on her and like scares the hell out of her. Like, why would you do that?
But he did it like really scary. Like, oh, why? Whoa, scared the crap out of me.
He's like, hey, where's your guys' water balloons? We're going to have water balloons. We're going to do all this shaving cream because they're going to be the one doing all the pranks. All the things Vision said he was going to stop. They're going to be the ones doing it.
So if he actually would have caught them, it would have
been she's like, come on now. I don't want you guys, getting into trouble and being stupid.
Vin's like, hey, you don't even have your costumes ready. We'll go get our costumes. He runs out and comes back. And he looks like the 1960s Quicksilver original, the light blue, and his hair is even spiky.
The shorts and everything.
But he's wearing like jean shorts. It looks awful.
Yeah, he basically got the jeans and cut it.
That's what it's supposed to look like, though.
But it's supposed to be like all one piece. Like, why is he wearing the jeans?
That's what makes it funny.
So the son's dressed like him too because they just love the uncle because he's like the cool guy. And then we're like, oh, they're making fun of everything. I think it's cool.
They're playing all.
Wanda's costume actually looks good.
Yes.
Everyone else's looks funky and weird, but guys, go back to the old comics. Some of the costumes were a little funky.
It would be hard to fit those costumes in real life.
They're playing homage to it, and remember, this is Halloween.
Yeah.
Actually, you've got to remember that, guys. It's supposed to be a little silly. Not supposed to be.
Like, think about it. I would love if there was a Halloween episode of the X-Men and Wolverine really had a beast mask.
And there was one in the cartoon. An episode early on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you do little things like that, fans love that. We love that because that's just
classic.
There's
a difference. They weren't being condescending.
It wasn't like looking at the costume being like, man, I look like an idiot. Now that you said
they're having fun.
They're having fun.
Yeah, there's a difference, guys.
So then we get to the worst parts of this show. We get outside, and they're scanning the thing. They're doing all the stuff that the sword stuff have been doing, and they're starting to like get out some more equipment, and then Monica has to be John at the guy, which she has every right in the world, because if you're going to shoot a missile at someone, you got to let me know.
And if she just meant she didn't want to do it at all, though. She wasn't even arguing.
But here's the thing, too. You don't send a pilot in with an armed weapon without telling him it's armed. Because I wouldn't send someone in, drive this truck into this building, and there's a bomb in there, I didn't let you know about it. Yeah. That was effed up for him to do that. At the same time, you don't start screaming at the director, like, hey, director, can I talk to you in private?
Yeah. And be like, next time
But she thinks she has the right to do this.
Oh, see, that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, we know what we're dealing with. She was never going to negotiate. Like, so he's full on, we have to kill her.
Yeah, which is kind of... You didn't have to... It's there now, but you didn't have to do that.
What did Darcy say to him? Oh, yeah, everything was going the plan until you had all your murder goons turned on you.
Yeah.
Yes, these people who were thinking are murder goons.
Yeah, she said, you're doing such a banged up job, your own murder goons pointing guns at you.
And then he said something I agree with. I go, who are you again?
Yeah.
What are you
You work for
there?
me? And the thing is that she doesn't even know, because, technically you do work for me. We contract you to help us shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Still don't see the other people, by the way, they contracted.
Here's the thing. These people doing this are doing their best to actually protect these citizens. They're not murder goons or whatever the hell she said. That is such that anti-cop anti-military stance that Marvel's taking. So, would you consider the Falcon and Winter Soldier to be murder goons?
Because they work for the government.
Was Captain America a murder goon?
He probably was.
Yeah.
I know, so
that's what Marvel. That's what's funny. That's Marvel's answer.
Gone.
That's their answer. Maybe.
Gosh, it's outside so bad. I can't stand it.
Everything Monica's saying is true, but like I said, he should have done it differently.
You do it in private.
She tells her, Monica, which is, I agree with what she's saying. She's like, you can't outgun her. She has so much power. There's nothing, like, that's not going to work. We got to figure out some other way. And then they start just yelling and screaming at each other. That they would have talked about it. I think they might have been able to come to like a...
Again, if she would have pulled him aside instead of belittling him in front of everyone.
Yeah, and then he starts like talking crap about her not being able to, like, you couldn't get the job done, and you weren't here for the 5 years, and then you think superheroes are here for us, but because it was bad. For the 5 years after everyone got half the population disappeared. So he has kind of like a vendetta against heroes because they didn't stop Thanos.
Yeah.
So like he probably has that little bit of that hatred.
And maybe he probably lost family members from the snap.
And also I think another thing when Black Widow's running the Avengers and everything, I feel like they took a bigger role and he probably didn't like that. Like, oh, why are you guys policing everything? Why are you guys controlling?
You guys effed up the first time. And then he goes like after her mom,
which is kind of a low blow.
Oh, you should have been here. You're a guy. You were gone when your mom died. It's like, wow, what a jackass.
Yeah, like that.
And then like Wu comes up. You don't need to belittle your people and kids. I have the White Knight Monica here. It's like, come on, Wu.
Just shut up.
Just shut the F up.
Wouldn't it have been better if Wu would have been like, we're all trying to save lives here, sir. And
we're all on the same team,
and we need to all work together.
That would have been fine. No. He's got a defender.
Then he basically says, you know what, F it, I hate all of you. You're all basically fired. Get the hell off my base. Because you're siding with Wanda. Here's the thing. Okay, let's say you talk Wanda down, she breaks on the field. Does she get arrested? You kidnapped thousands of people. You have thousands of counts of kidnapping.
But how you gonna arrest her?
But that's the
thing. She has to let you. It's like,
sorry, I was sad, so let's just get this as a no biggie.
It's like a Superman situation. You just gotta hope that he'll do the right thing and get arrested.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because he can just break out and
they put cuffs on him and he's like,
I mean, she'd almost be better going off the planet.
I'm thinking something needs to happen when she goes off.
Doctor Strange or someone's gonna have to take her off world.
So get these people off my base. So they're, instead of them getting like handcuffed and arrested, which is probably what they should have done, they're gonna rush them out there, and then the most unbelievable thing happens.
Oh yes.
This is you're gonna be court-martialed. Or whatever, FBI, you're going to be under indictment here. Wu starts fighting the guards and beats the crap out of him, and so does Monica. And the one thing I do like is Darcy doesn't know how to fight, so she's just standing there like, oh my god, what's happening? If Darcy would have been kicking people's asses, I would have punched my laptop.
She would have been the ultimate Mary Sue at that point.
Yeah, so she can't fight.
Yeah.
And so they beat up all these guards, and you know how hard it is to actually knock somebody out?
Yeah.
And how the amount of brain damage that is done to you when you get knocked out, it's not, you need to go to a doctor instantly.
It doesn't happen, and it takes a lot longer than what they did.
And also,
in order to hit that hard...
Let's just say they killed these people, so they killed these guards.
I know, right?
But also, the security, you only had a couple guys watching these people.
Yeah, and so they put them like in a Metal Gear Solid, they put them in a locker, and like in some trailer thing, and they take their coats, and they're going to go hack the system. So they knocked those guards out for how long? They didn't wake back up. They didn't go, oh man, my head hurts.
They don't have radios to be like, oh yeah, we were.
And then the director guy go, okay, so where did you take them? Report in when you have something like that, you're gonna want reports in like every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Have they been off the premises? Have they been arrested? Have they been
nothing? So
and then he said something about Captain Marvel too. That guy before they got.
Oh yeah, when they're arguing, yeah, like you have your special friend Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, because you talk about I know your relationship with her. That's why you love superheroes so much. Yeah, and that's when he talked about then your mom died and glad you weren't here. What kind of...
why? That's all professional. Why even bring that up?
Well,
seriously.
Well, we know on the show because they're doing it because they're trying to make him a better villain than what Wanda's doing.
But Wanda is the real villain in this movie. The only real villain in this movie.
So they knock these people out, and then they're gonna like go into some random trailer that has all the information they need, which no one's at.
No one's guarding.
And guess what, guys? For $100, who hacks the system?
And Darcy is also a master hacker. Yeah. So she's going to hack into this thing. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what they should
do? No, she's this is a trope they do in CW shows. They always either have a woman or a black guy be the hacker.
Because they have to be smart. They show you how smart they are.
Yeah. Every time.
Hacking, not just regular CIA government.
No, we're talking, these people are like Mr. Fantastic level.
No, here's the thing that would have been better. Because she doesn't that's what they're gonna do. That it doesn't happen quite yet. When we get to that, I'll come how I kind of fix the situation. Get back to inside the bubble, and damn, there's a whole hell of a lot of kids out here.
Yeah, Vision. There's no kids here.
Wanda must have really, got them.
So they're walking around. It's like daytime. That you trick or treat during the day. Use a punk. You wait till that sun goes down. That's when you start trick or treating.
I know.
At least 5 o'clock.
It depends on how young your kids are. But these kids are older.
They need to be scared.
No.
We make our house so freaking scary. Little kids don't come to our door because it's too scary.
We actually even use our GoPro and take wonderful videos of it for our house. It's pretty creepy.
So daytime, lame as hell. So they're going around trick or treating, and they're just and Wanda and Pietro are talking, and they keep having these weird things. Oh, do you remember when this happened? You're trying to test me, aren't you? She's like, no, what do you like? Because he knows the jig is up. He knows there's something that he knows this isn't right.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, come on, don't worry about that stuff. Because then he's like, they're talking about like their moms and dads. It's different. Completely different.
Exactly.
And we just see, it's so weird to see how Pietro, is he trying to keep Wanda in the bubble, or is he trying to break her out?
I think he's trying to break her out, but do it in a gentle way.
Yeah, because
he's learning to play for so long, but then at the end he's gonna tell Wanda, "Hey, look."
Because when he said like, you can trust me, like you don't need to question me, like what does that mean? Like
it's so weird.
Because like you said, that sounds more leaning to like I'm your brother, like I'm real.
But the funny thing, when he said parents, well, he didn't know in the Fox universe Magneto was his dad.
No, he didn't. No.
So
he's had an idea of it. Yeah, well, probably their stepdad, whatever. Their dad
maybe.
Because
she goes, where's your accent at? She goes, you don't have
that's later. That's later. Maybe that's where I had towards the
end.
Because but again, the question is, they keep asking these questions because she feels that this is my brother, but it doesn't feel like it's not that happy reunion that I want.
I think even in the scene she says like, you look different.
Yeah. He's like, don't worry about that. Like he's kind of like, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, it's just weird.
That's so weird.
It is odd.
But then the kid's like, we got some more candy. How about we do things the fast way? So he's all sipping around and like getting all the candy. Then Wanda runs into the other guy, the other neighbor, the guy who was cutting through the wall.
Yeah, he looks like a cool Frankenstein here.
So he has like, I think he's part of the patrol too. And he's like, so how's it going? Oh, everything's been pretty quiet. Wait a second. Someone's stealing all the candy, and you see all the blurs and stuff.
Come on, really, Pete? You're gonna steal all the candy? Jeez.
Wait a second. The pumpkins are getting all smashed. You see him go by, busting up the pumpkins.
It's funny because he's saying it as it's actually happening.
Oh, look at then all the there's people getting covered in silly string. It's like all the things are
even him at the same time.
So sorry, Wanda, I gotta get going. She's like, whoa, don't you have Vision? Isn't he helping you out? Vision's not on duty today. Oh, he's seeing another woman.
No, he's just playing you up because he's trying to get the heck what's going on here.
Oh, he's having an affair.
It's funny because I'm going to back to the last episode. Well, maybe you can't control what Vision's doing because remember she's like, oh, can I?
Yeah. And then she's like, and then he's like, hey, Wanda, is everything okay? Oh, everything's fine. Do you want me to change stuff? Do you want this to be different?
Yeah.
Because almost to the point where it's like, Wanda, are there too many kids on the street? We can shoo them away. Like,
yeah,
it's. Like, this is your show. You're the producer. You're the director. Let us know if we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, almost like in an eerie, like, you're God, and, like, whatever goes, goes.
Yeah, like when you watch, like, I'm pretty sure in between takes, like, the producer-directors, I want this and that.
Was that take good?
Yeah, but this is happening in this creepy situation where these people are stuck here.
Because when he was talking about, all the pumpkins, he was a character. But then when he asked Wanda, do you want to change anything? That was just him, the person.
Yeah.
Not the character.
Yeah, just like her other neighbor, like she did before. Is that okay?
Well, she's like, do you want me to take that from the top again?
Yeah.
Like,
this is creepy.
Then she's like, no, everything's fine. Oh, okay, gotta get going. And then walks away. We get to Vision and we see, okay, he's just walking around observing people, and then she sees one lady like hanging up decorations, and she's just kind of just like almost like a cheap animatronic.
Yeah.
So she's just doing a little bit of movement.
And staring at her.
And the dad's like picking up a pumpkin, picks up the pumpkin, just keeps moving it back and forth, and you can see that she's crying.
Yeah.
Because she's just stuck there. Oh, she's probably been there all day.
Yeah, because you have to remember, Wanda only needs the main characters to interact with him.
The other ones whatever's are just around there. Or wherever the camera is.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it just pops.
So I guess she was kind of true, and she said, I can't control everything, so she gives, like, basic commands. Like, put your decorations up.
Or it's kind of like in a video game where you're not supposed to go beyond a certain point, but you see cars, but they're just like flat polygons.
Yeah,
like they don't have all the detail because they don't need. You're not supposed to be over there.
So when you tell them, like when you tell them that basic command, they're just doing that over and over again.
Oh, get ready for Halloween. Okay, whatever that means. That's just a little.
Yeah, and she's crying because either
she wants to get out of there.
Yeah, like I said, she might be doing that all day. You know how tiring that would be.
Yeah. How cool is this shot of Vision walking down the street and the sun's going down? That's a cool shot.
And his cape, I love it. I think it's kind of cool.
we get this this commercial. Starts out like 90s fun commercial, but it has like a creepy undertone. Then it gets super creepy at the end.
Super creepy.
This kid's like on a deserted island. Oh, I'm so hungry. Then of course the cool shark from the 90s. Hey kids.
Oh yeah, it's extreme.
Yeah, I used to be hungry like you, but then I found magic yogurt. So magic yo.
Magic yo.
Oh, and I eat it. I'm not hungry anymore. Oh. Can I have some? Sure thing, kid. Yo magic.
Yo magic.
The yo magic. I want yo magic now.
Ugh.
Gives it to the kid. Oh, here you go, kid. He swims off. And it's like claymation. The kid's picking at the lid and he can't open it.
Can't get it.
He's picking at it and picking at it.
He didn't give him a spoon.
But even then, just can crush it and eat it.
Well, but that's like he can't. He's probably so weak he can't.
I would have just bit into it.
Yeah, I know.
But he's dazed. The moons go by and he starts getting like gaunt and like he's like dying.
Sickly.
Turns into a skeleton and dies. Yo kids, yo magic, eat it. It's the yogurt for survivors.
For survivors.
And this commercial is brought to you by Black Mirror because that's exactly what Black Mirror would do.
And we were talking about the people talk about this in the comment section. Talk about this just in general, saying all the commercials are just parts of Wanda's memories, and this is probably from when she was a little girl, and they probably had nothing to eat because when Sokovia was kind of a crap hole, and then when that bomb went off and they were stuck down there, and they were probably down there for like a week or so, like surviving on next to nothing.
Remember, this kid's on a desert island. See, isolated.
But I also, at the same time, I was also thinking this. Maybe this was like the little treat they would give Wanda when she would use her magic correctly when they were like
they call it yo magic.
Yeah, like, oh, here's your little magic thing now. Here's your yogurt.
Here's your ration.
Remember how they tortured Magneto when he was a boy? Oh, move the penny, move the thing, and you do that, then you won't be tortured.
And we all know with mutant powers, a lot of it comes from emotion.
Yeah,
a lot of it you have to be in a
state of like
distress.
That's why most mutants don't show their powers until puberty. It has that changing.
So yeah, that creepy ass thing.
That was probably the creepiest commercial by far.
Oh yeah, like
real creepy.
Like if you showed someone that, even
because a little kid dies.
Yeah,
even though it's like claymation, a little kid starves to death.
Can you imagine if that were live action?
Yeah, I know.
No way.
Oh my god, seeing a little kid die. Oh my god. So it's nighttime now. They've been trick or treating, and then the theater, the Incredibles,
and I think the Parent Trap,
because they're trapped,
yeah.
and the Incredibles because whatever.
Disney, yeah.
So they're walking, and again, then more questions with
interesting questions
with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and then it's trying to do you remember things this way, and he's like, hey. I remember things a little different. You remember things a little different. It's no big deal. And he keeps going back to that don't worry about it attitude. And he's like, but remember, I'm your brother. You can trust me. And it's like,
he keeps saying that.
Can we?
Can we?
Is he a plant? But why would he have powers?
Yeah, and why would he? I don't know.
Unless he's a plant and she just thinks, oh, my brother, he has powers, and she manifested those powers into him.
Yeah, and maybe that's why he looks different, because it's not really her brother.
So weird.
But then how would he have the memories?
But then he starts talking about it, and then he's like, yeah, I knew you needed me.
Yeah, that's
why I'm here. Huh? Like your heart and your soul called out to me?
Which makes sense, because in the last couple episodes, remember, she was talking about death. She was talking about her brother a lot. Remember, because she's like, you're his brother, you're his brother.
But it's because the thing is, it's the actor from the Fox universe.
Yes.
And he has different memories. So did she pull him from another universe? Or did she just like...
I think he pulled him from another universe, and I think he knows in this world, his job is, I think it's her subconscious telling her, Wanda, what you're doing is wrong. I think it's her subconscious maybe
in
the back of her mind.
In her brother.
Yeah.
So, but the boys show up, and then we see that one of the sons has super speed. And of course, people's like, "Oh, cool, man! He just like
someone who's dressed like him too."
Yeah, so he's like running around, and she's like, "Okay, you can run around, but take it easy." The little kid had superpowers. There's no way.
Especially that with speed,
which is funny because now they're older, so they must have hit puberty.
Yeah, and the thing they're watching the Incredibles dash because he kind of has a dash attitude.
It fits so well. I wish this was like almost like a real mutant thing that hopefully becomes real because it's so cool.
Yeah, this can't be a one-off for the series.
It can't be. I would piss me off.
She's like, okay, you can run around, but you have to take your brother with you. And don't go past Miller Avenue.
Miller Avenue, yeah, you can't go past.
Which is interesting. Okay.
It's like, don't go too far. Oh, cool, Mom. And they take off. We get back to the thing, and they're walking around. They get to that data center thing, and they're gonna go hack it.
And no one knows what they're doing or nothing, or they're just doing.
No one checked in on the soldiers. No one said, "Hey, dude, where did you drop them off? Or get them off the base? What, at the county line?" Like, I don't understand why they weren't checking in on this.
No one knows.
Oh, these people haven't checked in 20 minutes. Where the hell are they?
Or
they're the ones that are supposed to take those people off the base.
Or even know that the system is being downloaded. Like, people are downloading things.
And
like,
hacking.
But she hacks it in like milliseconds.
We're talking Tony Stark.
Okay, this is how I fix it. She opens the laptop, and then, she's like, oh, okay, we're in. And then we can be like, whoa, you hacked it that fast? I can't hack anything. I have this, like a little thumb drive that has, like, a hacking program built in. It's like, I don't even have to do anything. And it was the algorithm thing that was built in that broke into it. And it wasn't her actually breaking
And it was
into
maybe one that was from Stark's Industries or something.
Yeah, and that also is also a funny joke, too. Holy crap, Darcy, you can hack into computers? What do you think I am, Superwoman? I can't do all those things. I had to use this thing.
Yeah,
No, they'll never do that. They can't make Darcy look like an idiot.
What do you think I am, Tony Stark? Like, yeah.
No, that'll never happen.
See, that would have fixed the problem. No, she's also a master hacker. Jesus Christ.
Science major, political science major, and
snarky
hacker.
comeback girl.
And a hacker.
And a master hacker.
Master hacker.
Because this is a sword. This isn't, you're not hacking into the, public library database.
No.
And she did it in seconds. So she's like getting all this data and everything. And we see that she has, Monica's like all her blood results and stuff came back. And then Monica's like, oh, she's on the phone talking to someone. Okay, good. Okay, I have a way back into the bubble. I have a way back in there. And my guy's got to go meet that guy and we'll bring it in. So that, I guess he made her that tank thing.
Yeah, that tank.
Remember, it had that special plating.
Yeah, and remember that one guy they talked about like 2 episodes ago?
I know a guy.
Yeah, who is this guy? Like, it better not be something stupid, but it probably is.
Yeah, who knows?
Do you think it's a new character or an old character?
I think it might be an old character that we probably maybe saw once. I don't know.
So she's talking about she can't wait to get in there, and Darcy's like, you can't go back. What do you mean I can't go back? Here, I got your medical stuff back in. Your DNA's all jacked up. You've been through the wall 2 times, and it's kind of messed you up. I don't think it's safe for you to go back in again because I don't know what's gonna happen with like your actual like. This isn't just like, oh, you're gonna get burned on your skin. No, your DNA is getting jacked.
Yeah, it's
this is how they're gonna give her powers.
Yeah.
They gotta give Woo powers too. That'd be cool.
I would
Super
love that.
Woo.
Super woo woo.
They call me Mr. Woo Woo. So he's Super Woo. But here's the thing. It's like gonna kill her, and she doesn't care. I'm doing it anyways.
Well, she says it because like I don't want to see charts because my mom basically
had a remission and then it came back and it killed her anyways.
Yeah, so it's like okay, but still that doesn't mean you could be reckless. Like don't kill yourself.
They also find a bunch of data about
Vision, right?
Vision. They have because they're tracking the vibranium in his skeleton. So that's how it was like, why are they tracking Vision? Because that's something they can actually track. And he has a bunch of information that he wasn't sharing with everybody. But why would he do that?
That's so dumb.
He's got to be an evil guy.
Yeah, and there's like, and this says she says, I think she says there's like one more layer of encryption she can't get through.
Yeah, she's still hacking stuff. Yeah. But she goes, whoa, there's a lot more people here than we thought. First of all,
because you can
see. Then they zoom out the map, and we see that these people, because like in the epicenter, people are moving around trick or treating and stuff. But the further you scoop out, people aren't even really moving. They're just barely moving like left to right.
Yeah.
So like, what's going on here? Like, this is intense.
Yeah.
Like what's the scope of all this? But we see Vision moving, and he keeps moving kind of towards the edges.
And they're like,
so like, oh, what's he doing here? But there's nothing they can do now until they get that whatever the hell that thing they're gonna use to get into the thing. Vision's getting to the outskirts, and it's getting like all foggy and creepy, and the lights are flickering,
and the towns don't even look built almost.
Yeah, the grouse is all kind of dead. The roads are all nasty.
Like you said, Chris, it's like when you go into a level you weren't supposed to go to in a video game that wasn't finished. That's what this is.
It's just the set dressing.
Yeah.
So he's walking, and kids are just standing still, and he's like, "Hey, kids, is everything okay?"
They don't even say nothing.
Ma'am, are these your children? Are you waiting for something? And nothing. And he's like, "Okay, enough of this." Takes off his costume, he becomes like regular, MCU Vision, and he flies up in the sky, looks down at the city. He can hear noises and he see lights, but the further you move out, the darker and more silent it gets, because the only thing that matters is what's happening to Wanda in the city center.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So this place is a lot bigger than we thought it was.
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought it was like a little podunk little town.
We're talking. We thought, this is a town of maybe 5,000. This is like a town of like 100,000.
This looks like a big regular town. So Vision's like, I am done with this. I'm gonna see what's going on.
Didn't that one girl dressed like the zombie look creepy as heck? That was still.
Because everyone's like in a. You walk down the street. Could you imagine that scenario where you're going trick or treating with your kids and you see a street and you're trying to see there's some kid just standing in the street light, then you see a whole bunch of people just standing still. Go back to my house.
Creepy.
And you're like, what's going on? And why is everyone? And then you're just like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I need to go home now.
And call the cops.
But he sees one car on the edge of town, flies over there, and it's their neighbor.
Yeah, Agnes.
He's like, hey, is everything okay? And she's like, the city center, I've been driving around and I just guess I got lost.
Can't find it.
And she's like, you got lost in the town you grew up in? Like, how's it even possible? And then she's just like, not saying anything. And Vision's like, he touches her and it breaks the mind control thing like he did to that guy in the last episode. Oh. She's like, oh. She's looking around. Whoa, it's you. You're an Avenger. You're a Avenger. You're here to help, right? You're going to help. Then, of course, Vision being the good guy that he is.
Yes,
like,
I'm going
I'm trying. I need to help you. I need to find out what's going on. What's happening? She's like, but he's like, what's an Avenger?
Yeah.
So Wanda wiped his mind of the Avengers?
Everything. He doesn't, like in last one, he doesn't remember anything but Westview.
Yeah, he remembered getting, probably first thing he remembers driving in there when they got married.
Yeah.
The 1950s version of the show.
And so she's like, now she's getting scared.
Yeah, she's getting super scared. She's like, oh my God, am I dead? It's like, no, you're not dead.
No.
Because we're alive, we're here. But she's like, but you're dead.
He's like,
what? She's like, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. And she's like screaming it. And he's like, holy crap.
And then she starts like laughing.
Because this is
nuts.
torture.
Yeah.
She's laughing and she's crying.
And she's like, no one ever leaves. She will never let us leave.
Yeah, she's not going to let us leave. You got to do something. You got to help us, but you're dead. And she's gone in full-blown like panic mode.
Yeah, she's breaking down. She's
just like how the guy did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he like zaps her brain again. And she's like, oh, hey, neighbor.
Yeah, do you think, like, whenever he breaks it, she tries to, like, come into their mind? So it's, like, basically going back in.
But you can tell Darcy, not Darcy. You can tell Agnes is already subconsciously wanting to get out.
Yes.
Yeah, she drove
all the way to the edge of town.
And I think maybe what happened was she got in her car, she got enough away from her influence, and it was enough to get her
at least enough subconsciously to try to get the
But then she became branded like the people on the edge of town.
Yeah. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe people with stronger mental, they can try to almost...
Well, that's also a trap, too, Wanda can use on them, so they can't get out.
So
the
strongest...
you'll just...
Yeah, and the stronger ones, I'll just keep them out.
It's like a miasma of like...
Yeah, as soon as you get out, you'll just be nothing. You'll just stand there or just sit there, so she got pretty close.
You know what? I almost feel like... no, we'll talk about it when we get to that part, sorry.
So she just hangs a Yui. Hey, see you later, neighbor. And then he looks up at the sign and he's like, it says stop. That's cinematic. I love this. The framing of this is perfect.
Because it's literally
like, telling this, you. I'm gonna march right out of this town. Mm-hmm. So he's walking towards the edge of town, like, okay,
what's gonna happen?
So then they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna go do this job or whatever, and that's when they tell her about her DNA is all jacked up, and she's like, well, I'm gonna do it anyways because she's Monica and she's gonna do whatever she wants. This is gonna give her superpowers. This is how she becomes Photon. I guarantee it. So they're gonna go meet their mystery man. He has this. Excuse me. But she's like, hey, I'm not going with you. I'm going to stay behind because I know there's some more secret data here that we can use.
Yeah, there's one more layer she can't get through. She's trying to get through it.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
And no one's found out they're doing any of this.
That just kills me. Sir, there's been a breach in the security of data files or whatever. And see, that's why if she had like that USB drive that was like from Stark Industries, it can be like, whoa, there was a blip on the security. Oh, but it says it's fine now. You might want to double check that. Then that's how they get caught because the fast split second it showed it get encrypted. Something. Nope, she's just Darcy, the best on the planet.
And have we checked into those guys that have been taking them to the county line or whatever, kicking them out?
No, nothing.
No, don't check on those guys.
No, they just get out and they take a Humvee and they just leave.
And then there's security there. They just let them take the Humvee.
Thank you. The guys are supposed to stop. Thank you for coming and leaving.
Yeah.
I think on your prison break, please choose us next time when you decide to break into a military facility.
I know.
It's a joke.
Get back to the Halloween, and this is it's just because the boys ran off, so it's just Wanda and her brother. And Rachel's like, where all these kids come from?
Where'd you hide them all?
So what are you talking about? Were they just like sleeping in their beds this whole time? Because all this is just like, wow, they all just came out of nowhere. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, oh no, don't worry about it. It's just I just want to, because you're trying to keep them safe. You're doing your best to do this as humane as possible.
It's weird.
And like he'll play along, then he twists it.
Yeah,
he twists her.
Like, I agree with what you're doing, but how are you doing all this? And then she's like, you don't think it's wrong? I'm impressed. I think it's amazing that you can do all this. So he's like playing into the ego, but trying to pull her out. It's like that good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, and then I don't know if it was this scene or it was the past scene. This is where he talks about how he came to be. Because he says, I was shot and killed in the street.
Yeah, he's like, I got killed in the street like a bum.
I don't even know.
But now I'm here.
Yeah.
So he has the memories of the other Quicksilver?
And she goes, all I remember is hearing your voice calling to me.
And I think what's happening is that the longer this is going on with them, the more he's becoming in line with her memories.
Yeah, like they're meshing and melding and twisting.
Yeah, the longer he's there.
Because that was Ultron. He got killed on the streets of Sokovia.
But here's the thing, I don't even think he would even know who Ultron is because the Fox Quicksilver
they didn't know that. That's why he did. I think that's why he doesn't say it, but he just remembers I was shot and killed.
Yeah, but he's like, it's funny. He's playing in, then he's playing out.
Yeah.
He's feeding into it, and then he's...
See how fascinating this is?
It's almost like fascinating. It's almost like she's like a fish, and he's trying to wrangle her in. You know how you let the line go, and then you reel it in, let it go, reel it in.
But it's like, I think Mom and Dad would be really proud.
Yeah, they would love this.
They would love this because it's like our perfect little world. But he knows it's not any good. And then just like last time, remember when she had that vision where he was just like the freaking zombie version?
There we go, yeah.
And then she's like, you know what? She kind of looks away, and then when she looks back, he's got the bullet holes in his chest, and he's all like dead. I'm like, ah! I don't know. Is it his like dead corpse, like his skeleton
that she pulled?
Oh my god! But why would it not look like him?
But the thing is though, he's from the Fox universe, so why would he? You know what I'm saying? It's a weird, like it's become.
But why would he have the bullet holes?
Because I feel like in her mind she knows she's dead, like in her reality, so she knows that like this is.
But she knows Vision's dead.
I know. She doesn't. It just freaks her out.
Yeah, then that's the thing when she asked him about his accent. Oh, how come you have the accent?
Yeah, what happened to your accent? What happened to yours?
Yeah.
Like, this is all just one big, like Wanda, this is all a big play. It's all a big production.
And then I love at the end because she's like, Wanda, are you okay? And he like kind of like stares at her like, no, you know something's wrong. Like,
this is all wrong.
Yeah.
We know it's all wrong. You've known it for a while now. This is fun. I love hanging out with your boys because he talks about this like, I just come in, I'm the long lost brother, I cause tension with the husband, I play with the kids, that's what I'm supposed to do.
What they do, and he even says is for this season.
Yeah.
So he's saying it's a TV show.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's weird. It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
Get back to the hacking thing, and then she sees Vision getting towards the because she's like unlocking all these files. It's hard for me to pay attention to anything Darcy does because I absolutely hate the character. Vision's getting towards the barrier. And then, everyone get there. Just kind of like when Wanda walked out. So they got all the trucks, everyone's there and everything. And we were debating, like, oh my God, when he walks through this thing, I thought he was going to just be a corpse.
Yeah, instantly die.
Like, instantly just fall over. And blah, blah, blah. So he starts walking towards the wall and he's having a fight. And Vision's strong. He's not some weakling. So he's having to like, push through. And they, of course, all the sword people are there, and they're like, "Holy crap, that's Vision!"
It's Vision. He's walking out.
But he's walking out, and I'm like, "Oh, he's not dying. He's
fighting it."
But we're like, "Oh, it's trying to pull him back in," but it's literally like pulling his skin apart.
Because remember, he was in pieces when they were literally falling apart.
So he's like, "Oh, he really looks like he actually wants to get out of here."
Yeah, he's really fighting it.
He's fighting it, but it's like starting to like pull him apart, almost like the snap, almost where it's starting to like pull him away in pieces. And he's trying to walk and move towards this thing, but he can't even speak because he's in so much pain.
Yeah.
I think he's the only one that cannot leave that bubble because I think the Mind Stone, not having it, it's got to be the key.
Yeah.
So I don't think even her powers
can't create a Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like suffering, and of course Darcy runs out there. You have to help him, which is, it's weird because what do you want us to do? Go grab him? We don't know what's going to happen to us if we grab him. Like,
we can get hurt by it. We don't know what's going on.
See, this is another thing, like, of course, like comic book logic, like, they should have been developing some type of stabilizing device where if, like, as long as you're in this field, it'll stabilize your atoms so you don't fall apart, but you can't leave, like, this little circle.
See, that's something that Tony Stark would have made.
Yeah, that's something I think of comic book, but they don't have anything like that. He was too busy being an asshole. Yeah. So Darcy's like, save him, and then then like, of course, they can't do anything. They just, like, grab her.
Yeah, because they're like, well...
But look at that shot of him being, like, pulled away. Yeah.
It's probably constantly in pain.
Then his other son feels his pain.
Yeah.
So like one son took after Quicksilver, which is supposed to be they're supposed to be Wiccan and Hulkling. So this guy's Wiccan because I think he has that empathic ability where he can feel the pain. Yeah. It's like, Dad, I feel him. Then he like literally stops his brother, like freezes him.
And his brother's like, oh, that's so cool.
So he's gonna have like magic type
Like
stuff.
Scarlet Witch mixed with Vision kind of stuff.
He's like, Dad, he needs us. We have to go get Mom. They run to their mother. It's Dad. He's in pain. I can feel him in my mind. He's hurting. She's like, calm down. Tell me, what do you see? He's there. There's soldiers. He's in pain. I think he's dying.
I think he's dying. Yeah.
Then we see him. Yeah, he's totally getting his body ripped apart, and that's when he's trying to call out to them. He's like, help me.
Like, you gotta help us. Ugh.
And there's nothing they can do. And I think what's happening is if he stays out there, he will die. So it's trying to pull him back in to keep him alive.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, because Wanda wants one of the main things for this barrier is for him.
So he falls to the ground and he looks almost like he did at the end of Endgame.
Yeah, where
he's just like a lumped up corpse. Yeah. So he's laying there and, it cuts back to, and this, I can't believe Quicksilver said this. And he's like, Dad's dying and everything. And then it's hard for me to say because like, Pedro, you idiot. But to him, it's like, oh, this is all play. Yeah. What are you even worried about, sis? Not like your husband can die twice.
And the kids like look at him like, what do you mean?
Wanda freaking booms him into like the freaking hay bale and knocks him out. And she's like, where's your dad? Where's your father? And then he can't pinpoint it. And then we see he's like getting hurt. He's dying. And then Wanda does the only thing she can do because she can't get to him because she doesn't know exactly where he's at. She's just like, boom, freeze there. Everyone just stops. Very kind of like, remember how Xavier would freeze everyone?
Yeah,
I always love those scenes where like everyone just stops walking. What's going on? Oh, Xavier.
So funny, he's doing it by psychic ability. She's doing it by magic.
She flies up in the air and then starts powering up and poof. I'm like, what is she doing? I thought she was gonna like teleport to where he was. Oh, she's pushing the sphere out.
Oh, she pushes it, boy.
And so it starts to go, and because we get to Monica and freaking Woo. Monica looks like, do you see that? Holy crap, it's like a big bubble. Like they don't even really react to it. It's weird.
It's kind of like, oh, it happened.
Oh, okay.
So it starts to expand, and then all the soldiers see it's expanding. We gotta go. So they're trying to drive away. Darcy's still handcuffed to that thing.
Dang, they just leave her there. That's bad.
That's bad. Even she said, like, really?
I thought the guy was gonna drive it with her, like, on the hood.
Like, jump on the hood.
No, they don't do that. But that would have been funny.
That would have been funny as hell. This is like dragging her. So everyone's trying to escape the. Remember in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Remember when they're making that thing? Yeah, it was like going out. So it's kind of like that. Gets past the fence and then it turns into like circus lights and stuff and everything. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of odd. Keeps moving out, starts running over everything. It hits Darcy, so Darcy got pulled into it. What's she gonna be? Who knows? It's gonna be something awesome though. Then we see like all the military tents are circus tents.
Yeah.
Like, so this would be like, the circus came to town.
So next episode's probably gonna have the circus.
Am I reading too much into this?
I agree with you.
All the soldiers turn into clowns.
Why make them clowns?
This is that hate cops, hate military personnel.
Well, and also, there's more to a circus than clowns. They could have made them strongmen. They could have made them...
Well, how about make one a clown and make one someone else?
Like the face painter.
Or a trapeze artist.
Yeah. Or the acrobats.
Yeah.
I could be the bearded woman. It'd be awesome.
Yes.
That's better than the
maybe
clowns.
Maybe that's what Darcy will be, the bearded woman.
Here we go. No, guys. I thought of the most ultimate crossover. Not with the X-Men. That's not how you get Hugh Jackman in this. The Greatest Showman. You get Hugh Jackman, the Greatest Showman, into this.
That would be awesome.
He's all wearing this.
She like slides out of his. That would be the greatest crossover of all time. We don't need Wolverine.
You know what? He probably would do it too. I know him. He would probably do it.
Especially if he was just like in the background. Just like a small little part.
His top hat. I would absolutely.
He's all singing the song. It's funny.
Come back home again. So that's my prediction. So all the soldiers turn into clowns and goofy idiots and.
Like all of them. Like all 5-6 they show.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
So the main guy's getting away. Like he actually drove away far enough away. They drive by a car lot. It turns into like a old school kind of like, classic car lot. Yeah. So this thing keeps pushing out.
It pushes out pretty far to the next town. It goes pretty far out there.
But it was enough to get to where Vision was. So it passed where Vision was at. So now he's just laying there, but he doesn't look like he's in pain. Looks like he's knocked out.
Yeah.
Red eyes. Go normal, boom, into the episode.
Oh, I'm like, what? You can't do that to me like that.
Best part is we get to wait next week, though.
So, yeah, pretty cool. They just shoehorned the Monica, Wu, and Darcy part. They just shoe them in.
It's forced, guys. It's forced.
It's a square peg, and they're just hammering it home.
It's almost like they wanted that to be the main show, but we'll just make this Wanda thing.
The Wanda thing's so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, my
way
goodness.
better.
So... So I think what we were talking about with Quicksilver, he's becoming an amalgamation of both characters.
Yes.
Because why would he have the bullet holes and talk about dying if he didn't die in the Fox version?
Mm-hmm.
But he
And what's
has,
gonna happen in the next
but he
episode?
also has other different memories. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
that the only explanation is he's starting to become mishmashed of the two characters.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
and
He
that's
better
why
be part of them. Hey, if they make it to where he doesn't exist, that'd piss me off.
If they take away the boys and Quicksilver, I'll be very.
See, I think
upset.
the boys will still be around in Quicksilver because I think the Mind Stone's the key. She can't create that.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be cool.
But at this point, Vision, what does she do? Do you think Vision's mind got resetted again?
Probably.
If it did.
Or is he gonna break down more?
Or he's going to pretend his mind was resetted and just kind of figure out another way.
Yeah, but he has to figure. I have to stop this, even if it means killing me. At first, he'll try to do both, but then he's gonna have to come to realization.
What would happen if he went up to Wanda and shocked her brain, like knocked her out? Would everything just... Because what happens if she, like... If she just
Just when
certainly...
he wasn't expecting it.
But here's the thing. I think they have to... She has to let people go because I think it'd be like if you had you just unplug something, you run the risk of just like it shutting down.
Yeah, blowing
What
up.
if all these people die if they just knock her out?
Nah, well, it's the risk you
Like
might have
like
to
a word
run.
fail safe.
That'd be scary.
I think you know what's going to be
Because their
sad.
brains are already pretty scrambled. I
Yeah.
mean, their brains are really messed up.
I feel very bad, but I feel like it's going to take her whole family to stop her. Like her son, Quicksilver, everyone in Vision. Because think about it, if he has a mental thing too, he could like battle her. Which would be really
Yeah,
cool,
no,
but really sad at the same
He's
time.
like, Mom, you have to stop. But what if it's like, Mom, I know if you break this down, I'll die. But this is wrong. Like the kids will get because everything you do, because they're gonna find out what she did to the dad.
Well, exactly, and also she can't control them. She can't put him to sleep. She can't do anything.
You have to remember-
Because they saw her attack the brother and they love him.
Boom! They shot him.
So they're gonna like, oh my God, Mom is unstable.
The thing
And
is,
they might even question, like, Dad died once? Like, what are you talking
and
When
the
did
thing,
that happen?
and we'll be against her pretty soon. They're gonna probably be young adults,
Yeah.
and then they're really not gonna put up with this anymore. They're gonna be like, "No, Mom,
or
you're
what?
done."
Well,
It's not a phase, Mom.
Monica did say that they're real, so maybe they'll still be babies.
I think they're still gonna. I think they're still
I'm
gonna be around, and as long as Quicksilver's still wrong too. Because I'll tell you what, man, if he's just for fodder,
So did she crack a multiverse thing into the Fox?
they have to.
Because again, this whole thing, maybe this bubble will explode and this is what causes the mutant gene. This is what makes mutants.
That makes sense because remember her DNA got all messed up because it goes, literally changed your DNA, so that bubble might
But
hit.
you have to bring the X-Men from the Fox universe. You have to. They
You
gotta
have,
be established.
because I don't want little kid Wolverine. I don't want little kid Cyclops.
And also it'd be weird to have little kid Wolverine, especially in like this day and age, like in the.
Well, because you remember he
Yeah.
lived. He was alive in the 1830s.
Yeah.
See, again, you can't have the X-Men without Magneto and
Xavier.
Just give us Fassbender and
McAvoy. What's the problem? What would be the problem?
I love that. That'd be cool.
And just make it to where that universe was going to get destroyed anyways. Like, it was like... Because they did that with the A versus X. They had to pick their champions, and then they just amalgamated the worlds together.
I'm done.
Just do something like that. Who cares? Because, again, if you look at the timeline of the Fox X-Men films, it's a mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Because, like, with First Class, and then 20 years later, they're older, but then how come they were old-ass
Yes.
man in the 90s? Like, how did that happen?
I mean, it makes no sense if you look at Fassbender in the last X-Men movie, and you look at like friggin' Superman Kale, like 10 years later. I'm like, what happened? How did you get so old?
Life has been bad to me, boys.
I know, right? This man made me like this.
It's
But it's exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
He'd be younger longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he actually stays. Yeah, he gets.
But I don't know where this goes from here. Monica, I'm gonna get my super tank. Oh God, shut the hell up.
Wait, even that's gonna work. She's still gonna mind wipe you.
Yeah, she said there's no guarantee.
That you're gonna keep your mind. Well, then I'll just be part of it. But
Tinfoil hats. That's what's gonna do it. Wouldn't that be funny if that's like how to block it? It's like with a tinfoil
All
hat.
you do is you be in the middle, and you'll be just like everyone else, or be on the outside and be like a steel statue. That's your choice.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to do those cryptic messages, and hopefully she doesn't freaking.
And I think Wanda's gonna allow you to be a normal character.
Yeah, she
No.
might just put you in the outskirts, and you just be a freaking.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm great. My plan is working.
But yeah, definitely. I really want to see what the hell how this all gets wrapped up. Who is that special guy she knows? Do you think it's Falcon?
It might be. That does make sense. I know a guy that can fly.
Maybe as I was thinking, maybe it's Happy.
Oh, could be.
Because we'll get you some Stark tech and stuff like that. What if it's Happy? That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
That would be cool to see John Favreau. That would be cool.
Hey, he's awesome. oh, Monica, I'm pulling a lot of strings to get you this stuff, this gear. I think it might be happy. That'd be pretty cool.
I would like that.
That'd be nice.
Because, or someone brand new. But I think it'd be cool if it was happy. Because who else could get something put together that quickly?
Yeah.
Had to be him.
And who would have the resources to get
to get it there.
To get it there.
Yeah, let's just have one of the Avengers tech at least be a part of this. Something. I'm surprised at this point you don't have Thor, you don't have okay, we gotta get like the big guns.
Question. After all this, Sword's the bad guys?
I don't know.
It makes it sound like it is, because there's that secret thing with Vision where they're trying to make another Vision. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, why the hell was it up there, not with the...
That's weird. Like, one of them said, like, oh, we can locate him because of the vibrating whatever that's in his system.
Wouldn't Vision be Stark property?
Technically, yeah.
But he's a sentient person.
Yeah, but after his body, his parts and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, next week, we'll see where this goes. I don't even know how many episodes there are. I hope there's at least 3 or 4 more because I don't want this to kind of wrap up super fast.
Yeah.
I want some more.
Well, I want it to be fleshed out a little more.
But they're going to move into the 2000s?
I can't.
Yeah, that's because this was 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next one will be early 2000s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut a commercial. That commercial was creepy as hell.
Yeah, the commercials were
Too much.